Welcome back to 14 Day Pilot. Today we're really sad to know the fact that the black ship Gabriel BK160TR experienced a fatal accident in Malaysia. The registration number is India Papa 00 Charlie, February the 13th, 2024. So in this video, I'm gonna give you some disclaimer. This video is not an official accident investigation by Malaysia Air Accident Investigation Bureau. This video is an early analysis based on the data from media, EASA documents, ADSB, which could be used by the USA NTSB for prelim data collection. Any probable cause and contribution factor analysis are for safety education purpose only. I strongly recommend the audience to wait the official investigation report by the AIB. Little thing about me, I'm Dr. Gabriel, and currently I'm active as a FAA flight instructor to CFI IIMEI, and I'm teaching on the single engine land, multi-engine land, and single engine sea. Also, I hold airline transport pilot for FAA and the BCAA as a pilot in command in Boeing 737, Citation 500, and currently I'm second in command in A320. In 2021, I graduated from USA NTSB, National Transportation Safety Board, for aircraft accident investigation. Based on the news that everybody may heard about it, 2 people died after light aircraft crashes near town in Malaysia, Selangor. The pilot was an instructor with a recreational flying club in Subang. So a little bit about the airplane. This aircraft is Italian-made black ship Gabriel, registration India Papa, I think it's Oscar 00 Charlie, manufactured in 2022. It's pretty new, it's brand new from the factory. It's a 160 horsepower using the injection Lycoming engine 320 with a takeoff weight about 1,873 pounds. So it's got a certification from EASA for the CSVLA's very light aircraft. So it's categorized as a light sport, basically, with the 2 people on board. One is a pilot and the passengers are behind, so we call that a tandem airplane. The black shape, they call that, is ultralight, basically. Normally serve as a trainer aircraft for the military, like the intro to have the tandem airplane before they jump into the fighter jet or maybe the turbine jet fighters. So if you can see the spec here, the takeoff distance is only like 1640 for 50-foot obstacle, and maximum rate of climb with the maximum takeoff weight is 1,450, operating altitude 11,500, and maximum level speed is 160 knots. Okay, and then the load factor here is very interesting to see. It's a plus 4.4 Gs for the positive Gs, the maximum positive, and then maximum negative is minus 2 Gs with the flaps up. And it has pretty good range, 350 miles range. So this is some of the photos that my friend sent it to me. This is the airplane that crashed, and it has beautiful cockpit here with the big screen, and there's a little Garmin. I guess that's the G5 Garmin over here. I'm not sure what kind of Garmin, could be G3X, but other than that, it has a stick just like a fighter pilot. That's wonderful aircraft. And also one more thing, it's construct based on the fully carbon fiber. That's from what I know. Well, so we have the amateur videos that we can see it together. So we can see that the airplane possibly broken up mid-air. You can see here, this is all the parts of the airplane separated in the air. It wasn't mid-air collision. On the sunny days possibly after the rain, based on the weather reported before, but they took off on the VMC weather, okay, in the VFR condition, but there's some broken clouds, obviously. I'm not sure whether there's lightning over there, but it's absolutely, the airplane had broken up mid-air. I'm not sure what's the part here, but it's all over the place. There's no explosion in the air so far we know. Again, not a mid-air collision. If this really happened, no one can survive. because the separation, we also had one accident with the Embry-Riddle Piper Arrow. Since then, all the PA-28 need to do a wing spar check. That's an eddy current check. And I'm not sure about this airplane because this is pretty brand new airplane. And this is not the first time, guys. There's another accident in March 2022 that also has a fatalities too. Aircraft completely destroyed. It happened in Netherlands. But this one is due to engine failure. And so far, there are 3 occurrences based on the ASN safety database. 1 incident because of the landing gear, but 2 of them, the 2022 and 2024, we got serious fatal accidents with 2 casualties here. So apparently, this one has the same owner at the first time, the TRZ and TRC. So basically, these 2 airplanes got problems. The TRZ survived with the landing gear issue, with the TRC completely destroyed. And the other one is operated by the Air Adventure Flying Club in Subang. And this is from Malaysia, the other airplane, and completely destroyed. So 3 airplanes within 3 years, but 1.5 years, you got 2 fatalities, 2 complete destroy airplane on the accident. So based on the flight data comparison on the ADSB, we can see that the P8 TRC got an engine failure, so you still have time to glide properly. But this one, the 00 Charlie, there's something weird, something catastrophic happened, and then the airplane just like fall off from the sky. And you know, it descend about 4,000 feet per minute. And I have very unique finding at the end of the video. Stay tuned. The airplane took off from runway 15 at Subang and then taking right crosswind departure all the way to the west. And finally, ended up with the 4,000 feet, minus 4,000 feet vertical speed. That's it. That's the last data that we can have from the ADSB. Based on the ADSB data, we can see that the directional control was stable. The airplane heading west, plus minus about 3 to 5 degrees, which is that's normal. Altitude was stable at the cruising stage. At least if you see on this number, it looks like stable, but I found something interesting. Okay, but we see there was a sudden drop altitude, UTC 535.48 to 536, 16 seconds on 450 feet. At that time, directional control still good. Based on data, no aggressive maneuvers has been made. It could be a training flight, but they were on the cruising level. They didn't do any maneuvers during the cruising. ADSB has no more data and show minus 4,000 feet descending, and we believe at the time the airplane was tear apart. Okay, so now we're going to break down later about this altitude and the airspeed. So this is the data, 2 fatalities, and this is the MSN, and the type of airplane. Local time is 13:38, so it's about 05 to 06 Zulu. Black shape Gabriel broke up in flight and crashed near Old Palm Plantation. Both occupant died. Airplane was destroyed. The weather. It was hot day to fly, 32 to 35 degrees Celsius, and 32 based on the METAR that time. So based on the temperature around Subang, the temperature drops to 21 degrees Celsius at 3,000 feet over here. That's from 4 flight 9 hours ago. Okay, when I pull up the data. Colder than standard lapse rate. Should be about 29 degrees Celsius. So it's a possible unstable air after the precip if the precip as forecasted was really happened. The airplane has a chance to experience some turbulence due to unstable air forecast based on the temperature. That's what I'm thinking about it. And airplane got a headwind roughly 5 to 10 knots, which is fine. Okay, and then this is from the Malaysia weather report, the Malaysia Authority weather. There's isolated rain, but morning no rain in the afternoon, night isolated rain. I'm not sure what's the condition in the morning or in the afternoon, whether it was raining, but I believe with the temperature colder, faster like this, there's a possibility of unstable weather. Now, we'll take a look to the EASA type certificate dataset. There's some items that I want you to pay attention here. So the airplane is certified under the CS VLA. It means a very light aircraft. That's number 1. If the airplane on the light sport or the VLA, there's no AD, somehow they will have the service bulletin. But unfortunately, I was looking to the EASA website and I cannot find any airworthiness directive, of course, because that's light sport, but I cannot even find the service bulletin, even after the accident before, when on the March 2022. Nobody update on this airplane accident, so we cannot find any records that any problems with the airframe or with the engine after that accident, because this is a brand new airplane. Well, in this part, I want to highlight this area, okay? The flaps up is plus 4.4 Gs. It has negative G, it can hold until minus 0.2. The flaps down is plus 2.0 and at 0. So we need to double check whether or not the pilot retract the flaps or flying with the flap intentionally. We'll never know, okay? And then suddenly you got a massive turbulence, like severe turbulence, then it got a problem with the airplane structure because it cannot handle more than 0 G on the maximum negative. That's the job of the aircraft accident investigator in Malaysia. But this is some items that I really need to highlight to see. And the airspeed, the maneuvering speed is about 122 based on their speed. So they're flying about 110 until 125 indicated airspeed. So I believe they understand that the limit on the VA towards the turbulence is around 122. So plus minus they're at the VA, but I'm not sure during their turbulence moment how much speed that they really have that time in the airplane. I mean, ADSB could be wrong, but we need to really check what's really happened. The main problem is this airplane has no black box. We cannot just pull out the black box and copy all the flight data recorder. We cannot do it just like on the big airplane, okay? So again, no AD for very light sport aircraft, and I cannot even find the service bulletin for this particular airplane. Let's go to probable cause analysis. Possible airplane separation in the air, that's what the AASN said, and then based on the evidence that we have, we can see that some parts already like rip off in the air. Potential contributing factor, moderate to severe turbulence during the unstable air, which is showing by the temperature lapse rate, the non-standard, okay? Then possible cause, the structural damage due to unknown carbon fiber characteristic, because this airplane, from what I learned from the manufacturer, it's constructed by 100% carbon fiber. People say that's pretty strong. It's just way better, lighter and stronger. It's like the new Diamond, I believe they made the airplane based on 100% carbon fiber, and then like Airbus 350, they have the carbon fiber, and the Dreamliner is 50% carbon fiber. There's possibility they came into the situation that they cannot avoid the clouds, and they come into the clouds and there's a thunderstorm or lightning strike to the airplane, because this is very reasonable for the airplane to tear apart in the air, and that's happened so many times when the lightning strike on the airplane. So we really need to see what's the weather going on that day. The data needed for investigation, from what I'm seeing now, because this is not a simple investigation, guys. This is need a lot of parties that coming, including the manufacturer. Okay, EASA will come down together with the CAM and take a look to this all the data and get all the wreckage, the cockpit situation there, right? So maintenance log history from the operator, that absolutely needed. How's the inspection on the wing spar, and then how's the airframe going? Manufacturer data for carbon fiber airframe stress test limit. Complete weather report from the CAM to make sure whether or not thunderstorm get involved in this as the contributing factor on the flight path, including potential severe turbulence. Weight and balance during departure. We have to make sure that the weight and balance is within the limit. Communication recording from the CAM ATC. The pilot report to the airplane conditions since the first time, because we never know what kind of squawk that they ever filed for this airplane, what anomaly that Daniel or any other pilot ever filed to the operator. So this is the minimum data that we need to pull, including all the photos of the cockpit position, what is the flap lever that time, what is the power setting. So we really need to know all of those. But today, I have a unique data finding that I can share with you. Based on the ADSB data, we believe the airplane was cleared to fly to the west with 1,500 feet altitude. I flew a lot in Malaysia, and this is pretty common to fly around Kuala Lumpur airspace to maintain 1,500 if you are on a VFR flight due to a lot of traffic for Kuala Lumpur International Airport. This is the thing that attracted my attention. We found an aggressive vertical movement of the airplane. Let's see. Well, this is the moment that the airplane reached 1,625. It should be about 1,500, but they are vary 1,005 to 1,006 around that, okay, plus minus 100. That's not fun, because if you fly, Daniel is a senior pilot. I mean, he is a flight instructor, got a lot of experience teaching the GA airplane, and he should be able to maintain the altitude plus minus 50, because that's commercial standard. Maybe the students flew this airplane and then Daniel gave instruction. That could be. But take a look here. It went to 256 feet per minute with a track about like 280, okay? So that's the first thing. Now, take a look at the timeline here. The timestamp is 0533, 1625 feet, okay? And you can also see the seconds here, because the flight radar, you don't have the seconds. I need to get all the CSV files. So this is 3301, and you can see the 30 seconds. You get altitude about 1550, is about here. So 12 seconds to be exact, okay? It has vertical speed minus 512. So provided the ADS-B data was correct, then how much do you think? They drop about 700 feet per minute here, and that's not fun. You got a downdraft. But the indicated airspeed is same, okay? The true airspeed is increasing, okay? And they got a headwind here. Now, take a look at this. 0534, their altitude is about 1575, so around here. And they climb back 576 feet per minute, okay? Now, the indicated airspeed is already 123, which is that within the limit of the maneuvering speed, 123. But suddenly, it's become 1088 with the same indicated airspeed. Now, if you see that the GPS altitude is about 1675, so it's about around here, okay? So it's jumped basically from 1575 to 1675. It's not that long, guys. It's about 10 seconds, okay? From 500 to 1000, so it's about 500 feet per minute. It's fine, okay? But it's one of the early evidence they experience a turbulent. Now, 0535, the vertical speed is showing 960. They're climbing. There's possibility there's an updraft, like a thermal, because it's hot day, and then they got an updraft there. So plus 200 is completely fine, because I had that experience as well. When I fly in Van Nuys and on summer, somehow I got an updraft, 200 feet is fine. So we just need to make a correction. No indicated airspeed. But here we go. 0535 from 960, and suddenly you're down to minus 128. So it's already like 1000 feet per minute. Boom, going down like that. Okay, this is horrible. I mean, like suddenly it has the downdraft after the updraft. Now we got a downdraft. Then it's continued to minus 384. So if you come from 960 all the way to 384, so basically you're losing about 1200 feet per minute. Now, after that, the airplane cannot maintain the altitude, and suddenly minus 3000, and boom, minus 4000. So this is the crucial part. From 1088, 960, boom, minus 128, minus 384, and the airplane tear apart in the air. So this is all about the unique data that I found. And I believe the investigator wants to take a look more on the situation. If this really because of the turbulence, guys, so this is the early analysis summary. The Gabriel 160TR is considered a brand new airplane as per today. It has only 2 accidents with total 4 fatalities within 1.5 years. 1 due to engine failure, and this one due to possible airplane separation in the air, based on the amateur video. Based on the aggressive vertical movement reflected by ADS-B vertical speed data, we found that more than 1,500 feet per minute ranged up and down within 1-2 minutes, and it happened 2 times before the airplane hit 4,000 feet per minute, which we assume that was the moment when the airplane was ripped off. The airplane has maximum 4.4 positive G, minus 2 G for the flaps up, and maximum plus 2 Gs and 0 G for the flaps down. Basically, it supposedly can handle that kind of turbulence, right? But we never know what really happened on the airplane structural condition that time. That's why we suggest that the Malaysia Aircraft Investigation Bureau, you need to really focus on what really happened on the structural on this airplane. Aircraft maintenance on the airframe, inspection on wreckage, to find possibility of an airplane failure, cockpit setup, flap position up or down, and weather condition for possible lightning strike. At the end, I really send my deepest condolences to my buddy Daniel. You will always be remembered. And what the lesson learned from this, for me, my personal minimum, I will never ever touch the new airplane without any ADs or service bulletin. I'm not going to fly that kind of airplane. Maybe other people think that's okay, but for me, my personal minimum, I always recommend my students fly the certified airplane that already has a lot of histories, a lot of AD, airworthiness directive. People got problems before, and then the regulator and the manufacturer tried to fix that. Even like the 737 MAX, a lot of problems happening, right? Since 2018 until now, it's like a never-ending story. So that's happened for new airplane. So we always learn from other people's situation, and I really hope this will never happen to us. Fly safe always, and thank you very much for watching. Again, let's wait for the official investigation report from Malaysia Authority. See you.